You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Crisis After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Crisis After Show.
Woo! Oh, Steven, good choice. Last week we told you guys to please help us come up with songs. Every time we, yeah, you didn't. Every time we introduce the show, we want to have this like special crisis song, but we never do. So we're gonna need you one more time. You can tweet us next week.
Thank you. Let's
let
listen
us know. Hey, you guys, I'm your host, Stacy Ike, and we are doing episode 7 of season 1 of Crisis, Homecoming. I'm going to introduce my lovely co-host. What's up, girlie?
And I'm her co-host, Courtney Tezeno. We have a crazy episode. We enjoyed this one so much, and we were just talking about how Homecoming is very misleading.
Yeah, that title is super annoying because I'm thinking, of course we watch it and we're like, oh my gosh, Homecoming, it's over. Like, season's done and they're coming home.
Yes.
I mean, what else would you think? But obviously you guys see how the tables completely turned, so that was interesting. But yeah, we definitely have a lot of really good stuff to talk about. So we're gonna jump.
Super excited.
No, this was a pumped episode. Like, if you guys watched it the way we did, it was crazy. I mean, I lost it. I didn't mean to be that loud, by the way. So
it's okay.
I lost it at the end because those last 10 minutes. Okay. Anyway, we are gonna start with Widener. We know he works for the CIA, but I'm not sure if you guys feel the way we feel about him. I mean, I personally hate him, so I'm thinking you do too.
I hate him too. I hate him. I knew he was onto this in the last episodes. He cannot be trusted, and we know now he can't be trusted. They revealed that.
Yeah.
So
I think it was just really funny because the first time we saw Widener was episode 4, maybe? And he was just getting a relationship with Francis' wife, and we kind of see what their backstory is, blah, blah, blah. And once that happened, we were like already onto him in the beginning. Just because the way he already knew what Francis was up to in a sense. And, you know, then later episodes we saw that he knew exactly who the kidnapper was. And I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
So after this episode, we definitely know, okay, dude is doing more than we can imagine. And,
we know, and everyone knows that he is just like, he is doing this whole CIA, what's supposed to be a CIA mission. He's doing it completely outside of like what he was assigned to do. So this kid is just, not kid, but this man is a mess. Like he is just starting all of this unnecessary drama. Just for everyone.
He has a hit list. I mean, that's what scared me because Jonas, we see that he kind of mentioned what the medicine that he makes does to the soldiers that, you know, have done all these past killings or things that have been really horrid. And basically he blamed it all on Widener and said that that was Widener's personal team. And I'm like, I don't get it. What do you need that for? What's the deal? And we don't know what, like, the core of his corruption. Exactly. So I really want to find that out. And
that's why last week I was saying this is between Francis and Widener. They are, I promise you, they're probably friends. And I don't know if you know
friends.
They probably
terrible.
were. They probably were former friends. And something happened in the CIA, and I think they're both out to get each other. So all of this crap started because of Widener and Francis. That I think that's just even crazy to think about.
It's really,
because now kids are involved.
Exactly.
But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I guess it's really frustrating because we see how Widener was basically involved in this episode. He set up Francis by sending the soldiers in. I thought that was really slick.
Oh, it was.
At first I thought it was like cool, but then I found out it was Widener and I was kind of sad about that. So
I wasn't sad at all.
No?
I mean, I wasn't sad about it.
Not sad. You're right.
Yeah, I was definitely just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, they really are doing all of this towards each other. But I think it's weird that, not even weird. I was saying earlier how Francis and Dunn, it just seems like everyone's working against them. And now we see like the CIA is working against the FBI, and Widener is even working against his own corporation, the CIA. So I just don't even know how this whole thing is going to play out now. Like,
I guess I would love to find out when Agent Olsen is going to catch on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying, he's really oblivious, and it's not his fault necessarily.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. Okay.
Because Widener's pretty slick. He like has this whole army that we're just now starting to see this episode. Right. So,
but even like, what's Agent Dunn's Meg.
Meg yeah.
hasn't come. She didn't come up this episode, which is fine. But we didn't. She knows who Widener is. Maybe she doesn't know the core, like I said, the core of his corruption. But she knows that he knows stuff. I feel like, why hasn't she turned him in? Like, no one's doing what they could be to making sure that Widener goes down. At least, like, because Widener obviously can open up a new door. He can show us where Francis. He can do something to get us to the next level, as evil as he is.
But what are you thinking about this whole, like, we were so against Francis, and now it's just like, can we completely be mad at Francis when he's actually trying to stop someone just as bad as him? Like, how are you feeling about that?
I know. That's very interesting, actually. No, I still think he's terrible. I definitely no. He's no.
No,
he's
they're
terrible.
both terrible.
He's definitely. It's just because he got kids involved. If it wasn't kids, I would be like, okay, like, you know, if he took his adult buddies or whatever and tried to do something, then fine. But he definitely, and he's torturing these kids. We still haven't found out. I don't want to call him the Asian kid, but the kid who.
Oh,
What's his name?
Oh man, I don't know his name.
Oh, it's like. No, I don't remember.
But the psychic,
the psychic kid. So psychic kid, like, we don't know what happened to him. So things are happening, like bad things. Amber's being completely traumatized. Like, bad things are happening to these kids at the expense of saving somebody else. So I think the exchange is not fair.
Yeah.
So Francis is still a no for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think both of them are a no.
But
I think it's just more shady on Widener's end because, like, he is on the inside on finding these kids. And it seems like he's like doing his own separate mission. Like, he's working towards, you know, finding them, but he's also holding back information which could help find them.
Yeah.
So I think that that's shady in itself. Francis is just wrong because he has a whole, you know, mastermind plan going on, but at least he's like completely separated. He's not doing what Widener's doing. Like, this is like, what is it even called? It's like a backstabber. It's not even a backstabber, but like, you're just horrible. Like, Widener, you're really a bad person.
I think with Widener though, like, there's the whole sending the soldiers in. I thought, like I said, like, I shouldn't have said sad. You're right, but I thought that was cool because he ended up shutting down a lot of like the cameras, and he pretty much gave like a quick, almost an in. Like, Kaz, one of the guards for Francis, he was pretty freaked out. He was like, "We need to change locations. Like, we have been exposed, and we need to do that." So I think Widener is to be credited for that, for exposing it, but we don't know if it was a positive or negative thing on Widener's end. Was he doing it to help the FBI? Exactly. Was he trying to be like, hey, I'm on to you, I got you? Or was he saying, hey, I'm letting the FBI a little bit into your life, or what? We don't really know.
I honestly want to applaud Francis. Not Francis.
Oh gosh,
Whoa.
Take it back. Take it back.
Retraction.
Reel it in. We are gonna fast forward. Yes.
Finley, the F's. Okay, Finley and Dunn. I want to applaud them because I think, you know, as much as Widener is the person that's like, you know, helping the FBI and everyone else find out who Francis is, they're actually like making baby steps on their own. They're figuring out like, hey, at the very beginning, they actually go to Francis and they're like, okay, so instead of you using the parents, why don't you use us?
Yeah.
And they use that as a tactic to get closer to the kidnapper, who they know is Francis, but, well, they don't even know if it's Francis. They find out later that it's Francis, but they're getting closer on their own without the CIA's help. So I applaud them. Like, they're little rookies.
Well,
just
they haven't
making
found out that Francis is the kidnapper yet. Remember?
They did. Jonas, remember?
Wait, what? What did Jonas say?
Didn't Jonas say in the car? Wait, someone revealed to them that it was Francis. They know that, yes, they know this information.
How could I have missed that? I was too busy screaming about what happened. I was literally so busy screaming about what Kyle did. We were still talk about that later, but
oh man,
yeah, that really hurt my feelings. How could I have missed that?
They know though.
This is great. Okay, I'm gonna rewatch this episode. We'll talk again next week. But anyway, okay.
Maybe we both should. Okay.
There was so much going on in this episode.
Yes.
But I mean, now that we're talking about how Agent Dunn and Agent Finley handled it for the kids, we might as well talk about the kids.
Oh man.
I know. It's every time we get to the kids in the house, it's like it's definitely a deep breath, head down kind of moment. But I want to start with Ian.
Oh, he is a mess this episode.
I want to start with Ian. We actually just talked about him and how he was in the studio a couple of weeks ago and how we missed it. But we hope to get you back one day, Mark. You're fabulous.
Yeah,
but anyway.
we really. Oh, missed you.
Yeah, we were sad about that. So anyway, Ian this episode was high.
Very unfortunate.
Yes.
Very unfortunate. And I noticed that the title of this episode comes from him, like homecoming.
Yeah. Super drunk, man.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that was like the kids' moment to just have fun in this hostage situation. But
it's always awkward to me when they have fun because I'm like, this is definitely not how like hostage situation. Like, there's no making out. I don't understand why they keep having time to do that.
I'm like, look,
you
in
guys,
the corners, in the crevices.
Seriously, I'm like, you guys are making time. This is a hostage situation. situation. You need to be in the corner praying. That's what I'm thinking. But okay, you know, make out in between, do you.
Oh,
whatever.
I don't know about do you.
I'm just saying it's very interesting. But so Ian, you know, usually I say that he's not necessarily strong enough to show a presence that we're supposed to be like fearful of or scared of or like really root for, because he's just kind of like the kid next door. But I think this episode he at least tried.
Yeah.
I supported his vision in terms of the music and trying to bring some hype to the hostage situation.
Yeah, it was just a little awkward.
It was awkward because he was like dancing. It was like, what song was that? I don't even know. He was like Kesha mixed with like Katy Perry type stuff. I'm like, what's happening right now?
I just was scared, like, what are these kidnappers gonna like shoot this kid on accident just because they're annoying?
They're just like, I hate this song.
Wow.
But no, I think that was interesting. It was really funny how Francis was like, let them play for 30 minutes. I was like, do you have a soft spot?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then let me get back to my other stuff. Like, I think he was just doing that for his daughter. Like, they are missing out on a lot being in this hostage situation.
I'm
like,
sure.
Is it homecoming season?
No,
like,
seriously, finals is probably way past they are about to come back and they're like juniors. It's like not even.
Very sad.
Yeah. So I think that was interesting. And go ahead.
And I wanted to go into Beth Ann though.
Yeah.
Oh man, this girl. Okay, so Beth Ann.
You know, I stopped my deep breathing with her.
I have to keep deep breathing with her because Beth Ann is just so.
Yeah.
There's no words for it. But
Yeah.
she starts off like talking to Zoe. Well, I think Zoe kind of approached her. But basically she told Zoe like, hey, look here, back off, stay away from me, like I'll cut you almost. Like that's that's the kind of approach
that is so serious.
That's the type of approach she gave him when she was like, do you think Kyle even wants you outside of this? Like you're no one. Like she shut that down.
That was a little much. Yeah.
Yes, but let's get into the fact that like flipped on the reverse side when we see Kyle and Beth Ann talking.
Please
that
stop.
cheesy
Please stop.
line.
Here, can we do it together? You're the only good thing in my life.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't do it together, but you guys go.
No, it was the cheesiest
literally,
line.
Kyle goes, you're the only good thing in my life. I was like, you're living in a hostage situation.
No, Stacy. But it made me so mad that like she didn't respond. The way she responded was like so teenage dreamy. Seriously?
Yeah.
You think so? Like, what is wrong
I
with
would have
you?
been like, we're in a hostage situation. I probably am the only thing in your life right now. Like, this doesn't make any sense. It was a little too, but you know what? Like I said, like if they're going to have their love and do them. I need some happiness within whatever, you know, the crazy walls. So it just was so funny because that was a very, not tacky line necessarily, but very high school.
Yeah, it fits them.
Exactly. It fit Kyle to a T.
Yeah. And we have a lot to talk about with Kyle later, Mr. Hero.
Yes. Like always.
Yes.
No, I mean, we might as well jump into it now. I think Kyle, gosh, being the president's son, I guess it's in his blood or whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe, because I mean, there's so many parts that we've seen. We're on episode 7. There's so many times that we've seen him try, you know, there was the fire, and then there was trying to protect Beth Ann in the beginning, and trying to protect his best friend from getting high or getting drugs or whatever the case is. And he's always trying to be the hero, which I support. But there's just parts of it, it's not always successful. And then sometimes it comes from a place of very, like, it's a very young spirit. Like, he's not ready to actually take on. Like, if they're like, cool, like, shoot us. I don't know.
I don't know. I applaud Kyle. It's just it didn't work in this one.
It didn't work last episode either.
It didn't work. It doesn't. But again, he's still young, and yes, he's trying to be a little bit more mature than some of the other kids. But he is just not making the best decisions. Like, and obviously he doesn't know all the inner workings of what's going on. But it's like, dang, we see that you're ruining things, and you're trying to make things better, but you're ruining it.
But it's not working. So
no.
I mean, with that said, we appreciate you, Kyle, but. You know, if you could sit next episode out, we'd be cool with that.
I don't even know if he's going to be sitting in the hostage situation the way things ended. So
you're right. This is very true. I mean, okay, so I want to jump back. I just want to say that I feel like kind of bad for Ian because Beth Ann and him started out as like total BFFs, and now
Beth Ann, you could tell in the beginning she was going to drop him. Other than no, you could.
You knew from the beginning, from that jump start.
You could tell at the beginning because he is the guy next door.
Yeah.
So he in Beth Ann's head is just like, oh, you'll always be there.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel bad for the kid because he kind of should have known, like, I'm really not going to run away with you.
Yeah.
And I
mean,
like
who
Kyle.
would know that, though? Like, who would actually know?
There are clear signs that you are the friend. And
when you're in the friend, that literally was like a friend zone, like pop back moment. Like, hey, just in case. And that'll be sucky because now 3 of them are in this situation together, and she'll be all cuddled up on Kyle, and he'll be just.
At the end,
his
oh
music.
man, we are just we don't want to jump to the end, but
Right.
yes, that triangle is going to be interesting.
It is so uncomfortable. It's like.
It's going to be interesting to me.
Look, I'm thinking Beth Ann needs to make a choice, even though we kind of know she did. And Kyle needs to, they need to just sit in the corner and let Ian be happy. I mean, I just want Amber back in his life.
I mean, Amber. I like Amber, but I don't know if I want her necessarily back in his life. She kind of hurt him too bad. So
it wasn't her fault, though.
It wasn't, but
wasn't.
You know, he just doesn't need to go that route. I think he needs to stop getting high. I think he needs this moment when they're together is this triangle.
Right.
I'm sure they're not going to be super mushy around him, so maybe he can regain some points with his lover Beth Ann.
Right.
And like the high look is just not looking good for him. So he'll redeem himself, I'm hoping, and we're getting predictions.
I think since you brought up Amber, we should talk about her relationship with basically every guy on the show, every guard or whatever, including her teacher and then Ian as well. And I think it's really hard for me to watch because when I see Amber, she looks so sad and traumatized.
Yeah.
It really hurts. Like, it really hurts, especially, I mean, I'm not saying it's because she's the richest daughter, but in a sense, she is.
She's the richest daughter, but also she falls into that category of like the girl that everyone wants. She's like the cute girl.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, she's a cute, smart girl, but like all these people are wanting her, and it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and wow, her process of taking it. Like, I'm really impressed though because. Yes, we see that she's breaking down and that she's traumatized, but she doesn't actually show that in every circumstance. Like there's many times she could just be in the corner crying.
Oh, she could have been crying when that man came in.
Oh my gosh,
been crying.
Yeah, she's always handling with like a please or I'm tough or like some kind of like backstab, and I'm like, wow, you are tough.
Where do you think she gets that from? Because I start to see Agent Dunn in her.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good, yes, that is such a good call.
I see it in her.
Definitely.
I wanted to say at first it was Meg, but like I see so many similarities in Agent Dunn and Amber in these situations. It's just so cute.
Love it. Except I would say Amber's a little bit more open into letting people in. Agent Dunn, she is just now breaking that wall.
She's been through life though. So,
that's true.
You know,
that's
Amber's
true.
young, and like I think that the younger Agent Dunn who hadn't been tarnished or whatever she's been through, she would have been just like Amber.
Right. Very interesting. That's a really good point. I'm loving Amber, and it makes me sad that she has to go through what she's going through. And I wish the guard wasn't so aggressive when it comes to her. It's disgusting.
Sick. It is absolutely sick. From day one, I was so disgusted by that. I'm
it's
like
really
literally
ridiculous.
I really hope that they don't do anything. I just hope that they don't do anything on air.
Yeah.
I can't watch that. Let's just stick
tough.
with the creepy stuff. Take your mask off. I'll close my eyes.
Right.
Just don't touch me.
What did you think about him doing that this episode? Are we supposed to now think that he cares for her?
I think he cares for her. I think he's cared for her the whole time.
Ew.
And that's it. And it's disgusting.
Still back to ill.
But what are with these old men caring for her? She is a young girl, and she's not a tenderoni. So
her teacher was a whole nother situation, which we really haven't really hit on in a while because he hasn't really come up in a sense that he's like, gone straight to her. But overall, I think the guards are disgusting, and I'm over it. And I think they need to keep their mask on. And away from her.
Yes, away from her, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I thought that they were going to get more into the kidnappers, and like we could learn more about them. But I don't see that happening right now. It just really seems like Francis and Widener. So I'm interested to see, like, why are you taking your mask off? How do you contribute to the next episode or even this mastermind plan? Like, why are you Francis' puppet? So I'm wondering.
I think they're going to come up because there's no reason for us to have seen who the person was if he wasn't going to come back again.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with that.
Yep.
So I think we should also talk about the new characters that we had in this episode. We got to see that Agent Dunn and Agent Finley went to a neighborhood to basically do a mission for Francis. And so they shut down all the houses, and they said that they were looking for a gas leak. And I love how, what's the word? how trusted Finley is, because when they called that fire department and they came and just shut it down for them, that shows that no matter where he is, people trust him. And I love that line when he was like, yeah, they know that I'd show up for them too. I was like...
And I think that he's teaching Agent Dunn to be the same, because this is the first situation where we see that she's a partner and, you know, she has to trust someone. So I think she was impressed
She
by
didn't
that
call
too.
any of the shots, and that was, and she looked to him for so much advice. She was like, so when is this too much? Like, what do you think we should do? I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yay, we're seeing them be friends.
I know.
And now lovers. We totally are on the, except I want the lovers and she doesn't. Like,
I don't want those.
I don't know. I just think it would be fun. Whatever. I don't know.
Meaningful friendships.
Look, I'm not saying friendships aren't beautiful. They are. But this could be tight. Like, I'm just saying.
Okay.
She got the hair.
Could be tight. I don't.
Ooh, yes.
No. Okay, you're talking about looks, girl. Please.
Yeah, I know. There's no actual context in their relationship, but I think they're growing so closely together that if they're just friends, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
For now. Let's move on. So
I wanted to talk about this new character, and I don't know if you caught his name, but I call him the old creepy guy.
That works.
So this old creepy guy, and like.
That works for Widener?
Yeah, that works for Widener. He came into the episode, and I guess he's kind of been working for him this whole time because we see Jonas has been kidnapped. And I don't know if you want to talk more about that.
I mean, it sucks because when we first saw him, I wasn't even sure that was Jonas. I don't know where I thought he went. Where was he the last time we saw him?
The last time we saw him was with Meg. And he was kidnapped. Well, not kidnapped. He was taken because she sold him in.
And oh my gosh,
CIA.
now I just realized that was with Widener. Meg.
This guy's horrible.
This is a lot. Okay. So now that we know where Jonas is, it's kind of frustrating because when you hear his story, you feel so sad for him. Like, you feel like he really didn't know what he was getting into, which we know. We really know he didn't know what he was getting into. And the drug that he makes brings all the power that he has. And unfortunately, they are stripping that power from him.
Everyone's using him now, though. Everyone.
And being that strong and that powerful and having that mind to create something like that, the way that people just took it away from you like that, it just sucks.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, in this situation, Jonas, like, I guess you didn't recognize him because he was so frazzled.
Yes.
Like, he was just weak. Are they feeding him is how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
I don't think so, because remember old creepy guy mentioned when they brought the lunch for him or dinner for him, and they were like, what about our friend in the basement? He was like, no, I don't think he's hungry.
Oh,
remember that?
They're torturing him, and he's the person that's helping them.
I don't even get why they're torturing him. Like, I'm assuming they want them to give up something or they want Jonas to like give up something. I mean, he's seen a lot since before he got there.
I think they don't want him to rat because he be a rat for Widener, because he basically just told Francis. That's what he did. I retract that statement on them knowing about Francis. He told about Widener in the car.
Yeah, that's what it was.
About
okay.
Yeah.
That's what, because I was like, how could they know right now? The season's over. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So when they told about Widener, I think that they don't want Jonas to rat on the fact that Widener is against the CIA, even though he's already done that with Finley and Dunn.
Right.
So Jonas is a huge asset for them, and I mean, I guess that's why.
Do you torture your assets though? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you not necessarily torture them, but like if he gets out, then like everybody, all this is screwed. Like CIA is involved, and now they're against Widener, and like he really is the glue to this whole situation.
I understand that, but why can't they just keep him in hiding, give him some Chipotle, a couple Panera breads here? I mean, keep the man alive. You don't have to not feed him and why? What is the point of that?
It's
because when he does get out, he'll definitely tell on you.
Oh, he'll tell, but it's a power thing. Like, I mean, I guess with the kids, it's the only situation where you're in a hostage situation that's comfortable with twin beds and you're eating
dinner, y'all making out on the side. Like, exactly. I mean, for real.
But no other real hostage situation.
But for real.
is like that. So I think that this is just a typical situation for them where he is being used, and he doesn't need to be eating well. He needs to just get what we need done, and that is to continue to distribute these drugs.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's true. I understand why they're doing what they're doing. I just hate why they're, I feel like they could do something else. They could because Jonas, if he's the glue, once he leaves, which he might, seeing his predictions, I don't want to jump ahead, but seeing as what his power is now and who he's with the good guys, this all could be a wrap. So
I'm just scared because the good guys are still considered rookies in my eyes, and I'm scared now they have this powerful asset. I think Widener is gonna just shut that down, and I'm scared. Yeah. Like, I don't want him to. I think he just needs to stick with being.
Well, Susie isn't a rookie necessarily, but you're right. They're doing a lot of rookie moves in a sense, like not bad moves necessarily, but they're doing moves that they're learning on the spot.
Yeah, I think
so.
I think I'd consider Agent Dunn and Finley like the little turtle. You know the saying of like the basically everyone else is like moving fast to get everything, and they're just like slow and steady. We're getting to the
Does the
bottom
turtle
of
win
things.
at the end?
The turtle wins.
Okay, thank God. Because I'm like, I can't have Finley out here just out here. Like I can't.
Exactly, like a pointless mission.
Right. It's like, okay, wait, what are you being a turtle for? Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess seeing the fact that the old creepy guy had a relationship with Widener also leads to a relationship with the soldiers. So that was a little interesting to see this episode because...
Did that shock you?
I loved it. I loved it. You guys saw when the soldiers got into Francis's, basically headquarters or whatever and started shooting up. I thought it was really interesting because the soldier's name was Thayer. Thayer. And I thought that was really interesting.
And Francis knew him. He was
Yep.
like, Thayer.
He was like, Thayer, you're alive. And I was like, this is amazing. And it's awesome because we got to see how many, like the whole commands and how he works with the drug. I assume he was on the drug.
He was.
Yeah.
Because he was
definitely,
shooting everywhere.
His moral compass went out the window. But what I thought was interesting is he didn't shoot the kids. He could have shot the kids.
I didn't think he was going to shoot the kids. There was one point where I think they were trying to make us believe that when they were like, oh, one hostage will not survive. But, I mean... that had nothing to do with this killer. This person came completely on Widener's, control, and he was pretty much going after Francis's army. So he was trying to take everyone out. It may have been an attempt to, not kill the kids, an attempt to save the kids because they were trying to get everyone else, kill
That's
the rest
That's
of
what
the
I was thinking because I was like, is Widener doing this for the good of the people or for his own sake?
I think he was doing it for both. Because
I can't trust
he
it.
still has to cover the fact that he's a part of CIA.
Exactly. You're right. This is true.
So that mission or whatever mission was to help save the kids, but was to also do his own thing with Francis and him.
But I think once Agent Olsen finds out that like, hey, you found the kids, but you completely went behind our back, it's not going to come out that it was just a positive thing. Yeah, I don't think that.
They had that meeting. They're on to Widener. And I think that he knows that. And I think he knows that Agent Dunn and Finley are on to Widener. So now he's like, pull their files and come on, guy. Like somebody's going to shut this down. And I think it's Agent Dunn and them.
I hope so, because at this point they are coming up with all these different schemes, which we're definitely going to talk about this week's scheme and how they, try to play the better guys. I don't even want to say just the good guys because we saw, we know Agent Olsen and his team, they're the good guys, but I feel like Agent Dunn and Agent Finley, they literally work by themselves. Like they don't even answer the phone when their boss calls.
FBI or CIA.
Right. They just in here. Like
they just have the badge. Like
right.
That's it.
Literally they're like
CIA,
this,
FBI,
whatever. What else do you need? Like they have it ready. And I think that's cool because right now we trust them and they're not doing anything wrong. So we think. So until then, we're okay with it. But we'd love to know what you guys think. So make sure that you're checking us out on AfterBuzz.com. Also, check us out every Sunday night along with other AfterBuzz shows. Make sure you rate us, give us 5 stars. Check us out on YouTube. Leave your comments because we love to read them. And make sure you check us out on Twitter. Also, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can find us. Also, make sure you download our apps on your Androids and your iPhones.
Awesome. Yep. Quick pub. And for real, we need a song. So comment on the song and your predictions for the show.
Seriously. Yeah, we definitely, that song is not a joke, y'all. Okay. I think that now that we have pretty much digressed some of the episode, I really want to jump into Finley and Dunn and how they played in this episode. Because, of course, we've mentioned them before. They did so many things, like always. But from the beginning, this episode started with that phone call from Francis.
Which was genius.
Which was genius. I love that. But remember, I was mad last episode because knowing that every place that they are is buzzed, I hate that I guess I hate that Agent Dunn and Agent Finley think that they're
cautious.
getting... Yeah, I feel like they don't think that they're being buzzed or bugged, I'm sorry. I just don't feel like they are protective of their word. Like they're literally having like these deep conversations about what they should do. And I'm like, Francis can hear you. Everywhere you are, he can hear you.
Yep. He uses every word against them.
It's frustrating. So this episode, they decided to play basically play devil's advocate, which was cool. They decided to work for Francis. And I'm going to use this air quote because I believe that was a good of the cause. But I was just kind of course it is, but I was kind of getting lost at the end. I was like, what's happening? So anyway, that was cool. And what did you think about their overall mission?
Their overall mission, I thought, was really, well thought out. But of course, Francis is always still one step ahead of them. And now they have that dynamic of Widener, getting in the way. So I think the idea of them being pretty much puppets was a good idea. But that may fall back, that may backfire on them because they are still FBI. I believe they're both FBI. And that if someone finds out that they're actually working for this person, that they may not be doing this much longer. So,
well, I definitely know that if like Agent Olsen found out, he would know that they're obviously trying to help. He would just be mad that they did it without his orders. I think that would be the issue. Don't you think?
Yeah, that would definitely be the issue. But I just think like, even if at the end of the day the kids are rescued and all this stuff, if their Secret Service people find out that they did this, like they're out of jobs, aren't they? Like, okay,
you think so?
Yeah, like okay, the mayor's gonna give them a day or something for saving the kids, but at the end of the day, they still did not do their practice correctly.
I wouldn't say so because I mean it's like. Think of every Law and Order episode where somebody plays a completely different, character just to get the attention of whatever the bad guy. So I think that's what they did.
No, I know that's what they did. I'm just concerned later how this may impact them. So
usually, I mean, I think right now they only answer to Agent Olsen, and I don't think he shut them down. But if there's anybody else, like if Widener gets involved and he's like, hey, I think that there could be a problem with other people. But overall, I think if Agent Olsen is their only person right now, they should be okay. But I think it was interesting because I don't necessarily want to say it was an unsuccessful mission. I appreciate what they were doing. I love how they were making sure that they were still in their good morals because they were like checking in on each other like, hey, when is this too much? When are we going overboard? I thought that was crazy. And Agent Finley continued to keep in Agent Dunn's head, hey, like we're saving your daughter. This is what we're doing. Like, don't worry. So I thought that was cool. But at the end, by the time it played out, like I knew they were going to turn to be like good guys again, but I was like, you guys, no, it's not going to work.
Did it feel wasted to you?
It felt a little, exactly. Because he was like, I mean, duh, you want all the hostages. Basically, when Finley was like, hey, we're going to need to renegotiate this. Like, we're going to renegotiate our plan. We want all the hostages. Francis clicked and hung up. He was like, I don't have time for this.
Click, hang up, call the old weird creepy guy.
He was like, go do the other stuff I told you because I'm over this.
And it's crazy how he's always has like a plan B. Like I'm telling you, he has like A through Z of plans. Yeah. So when they were talking about first of all, we skipped over a huge part of Kyle.
Oh my gosh. I forgot how much that freaked me out. You're right. Okay. Do you want to finish Agent Dunn and Finley and go back?
Well, this has to do with them.
Okay.
It has to do with their mission. So Kyle, again, oh my God, this kid was trying so hard to be a hero, and me and Stace came up with the concept that these kids have basically just been used brainwashed by Francis. So they've been brainwashed so much to where they are almost out of this house. And Kyle has used I think he used the gun from, was it
one of the
Thayer. Thayer. So Thayer gets killed, and Kyle picks up the gun, and he decides that he wants to go ahead and play the superhero. He ends up shooting the person that has finally caught Francis.
You guys saw when Agent Hurst got free and totally had Francis by the back with the gun, and I was like, yes, it's over, like we got him. And then he brought him out there, was about to tell the truth, and
then Kyle shoots Hurst because one, Francis has made it so bad to where he has made Kyle think that Hurst is this bad person. He made him come out and say like, you were nothing to me. Who cares if we went fishing? We are not family. And now this guy is just like thinking that Hurst is the bad guy, and he's built this trust for Francis, so he kills Hurst.
And it was so unfortunate because I promise when this comes back to Kyle, when he realizes that Hurst was a good person, he's never going to forgive himself.
And that sucks to be a kid and have to have that on you. He doesn't know yet, so that burden isn't there. But once he finds out, like, we could have been at home. We could have been in the White House chilling.
It's going to be literally like episodes later. And everybody's going to be like, but did you? But
no, they're not going to have any more clothes. And then we're going to be like, Kyle, we could have killed him.
But the problem is, like, the really sad part was how Beth Ann was like, man, you saved my father. Like, I love you so much. And I was really stressed because I'm thinking, if only she knew.
If only she knew. And I think that that's where that another triangle happens, where now, before, dad didn't even matter to Beth Ann. So now it's this daddy-lover triangle thing where Kyle has built up this trust for her father. What is it? Kyle has built up this trust for Francis, her father. And so for her, I don't know, like, Kyle just screwed up. I don't even know what to say. He honestly just screwed up so bad.
Yeah.
And it was because he trusted Francis so much. And then like he's like, oh, I did it for your dad or whatever it is. But
that really killed me when she said that. I was like, only if she knew. And that was really hard because now, like I said, he's going to live with that burden. He's not going to know for a while, so he's still going to go back and confide in Francis. He's going to say all this stuff about how he missed her, this and that. He's going to tell him everything. And I think in one instance, that makes Francis like an awesome character because he's all hate him. He's able to manipulate. He's doing exactly what he set out to do. So he's great. On the other hand, you're a terrible person. You're a father, and I want you dead.
Yeah.
So, I didn't mean to say that. I did mean to say that. But you did. I was just hoping it didn't come out like that.
But now that she's like, she loves her dad all of a sudden. Like, how do we kill this person and like not hurt Beth Ann's feelings? Somebody is going to get hurt. And that can segue into the fact that now Agent Dunn is having to deal with a huge issue because she decided to her and Finley decided to renegotiate.
Right. That renegotiation, like I said, I don't think it was a waste. I just think it was pretty preconceived. I think it wasn't time yet. You still had Jonas under your arms. You could have like researched a little bit more, figured out something else, but just saying like, we want all the kids, duh. Like, you've wanted all the kids since episode 1. What else can you give him?
They could have did like, okay, let's take a break.
Exactly.
And let's figure out which kid we're going to get except for Amber.
Exactly.
Because he knew that you were going to go after Amber. That's why he said it first. So let's figure out another kid that would be a better plan
or something,
for us.
Something that like Francis wouldn't see coming. That's what I'm saying. They weren't
Let's
slick
take
about
the
it
little
all.
Asian kid who's a psychic.
Exactly. He could have told, oh my gosh, that kid really needs to be freed. Because I seriously have not seen him since episode like 4 or 5. So I just think that was a little...
No, we saw him in this episode when they were chanting, they're like, my father and my parents can't save me.
I don't think that was the same kid.
Are you sure?
No, yeah, because he has glasses.
That one had glasses. Promise.
I'll have to rewatch. Man, we really... This episode was too much.
It was so quick. They were all chanting like a hymn
that was
of my
pretty
parents
hard.
will never save me.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible to watch too. But I just think overall, their plan could have went total to A, and they took it to H like really quickly. Like they really it went downhill. But I mean,
we needed that to have the series continue. We needed
that's true. It's not like they could just free the kids now, but I just think asking for them was a little too preconceived. Like you should have waited.
And that's that rookie move.
Yeah.
That was that rookie.
Exactly.
Even Finley knew not to like just ask for the kids. I'm telling you.
But he's the one who did it.
No, I thought it was it was Agent Dunn. She's the one who said it, right?
He said it. He definitely was like, we need to renegotiate. We want, and you know how he talks. He was like, we want all of them.
Exactly. And then they were like, basically they're doing it for Amber.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah. So it was just a lot, and I think in that case, I wish we saw something different that was more successful at the end. But obviously that goes into the next episode and telling us that we're in for it, because now that he knows exactly what they want, he still has what he wants. You know, they still have Jonas, so he's gonna figure out a way to work together, get what he wants.
And when we get into predictions, it seems like he's already found a way to get what he wants.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Jonas. Like, I want to know what they're going to do to this kid. Are they ever going to release him? Or are they just going to figure out what his formula is so they can keep him?
I know.
So they can kill him?
He has too much power, and actually I lied. He has no power, but he has so much brains that they need that, and they can't get rid of him. Just like they were not supposed to get rid of Thayer, but they just killed him. I was like, no one listens. Like, he wasn't supposed to die. But I hope Jonas gets to, be a part of the episode a little bit, or a part of the series a little bit longer. And eventually he's saved by Agent Dunn and Finley, because I really like him as a character, especially knowing that he's not a bad guy.
Okay. So I think this would be a good time to get into predictions.
Yes. I would say so.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I didn't say anything about it this time.
I know you didn't, but you were thinking it all in your head.
I love that. Those little lights.
So, let's keep with Jonas. What are you thinking? I'm thinking that in one of these episodes, I think they're going to figure out this formula and they're going to kill Jonas. I honestly, I really think so.
Thinking?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
I always want to think like the worst, just so I'm like, ooh, I got it beforehand.
No, I do not think Jonas is going to die. I really feel like Agent Dunn and Finley are going to protect him till the end, at least as much as they can. When it's time to give him up, they will, but I think they're going to say, hey, look, we got you, we're coming back. Like, I don't think they're going to leave him out there to dry.
I don't think it's going to be an out there to dry thing. I think it's going to be an accident, and then everyone's going to be screwed. I just can't wait for the plot to just twist. It's going to be great.
Today it twisted enough for me. The whole Kyle, and that really hurt my feelings. But anyway, Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead with your prediction.
I was just going to say that I am really trying to figure out. Well, I think that Agent Olsen is going to find out about Widener, or he's going to be like way more onto him than he was this episode. I think this episode, Agent Dunn and Agent Finley were onto him. But I think finally Agent Olsen's going to look at Widener with a different eye, with a different, listen with a different ear. And he's going to be like, okay, let me take what you're saying only with a grain of salt and start figuring out a plan against you. So I'm really hoping that happens. And then also seeing the daughter versus the versus the
I
sister.
want to know which one you think, because I am leaning more towards the fact that she actually I just got so stumped. I was gonna say she's leaning more towards her daughter, but she doesn't even know how to be a mom, so how can she root for Amber? But who wants a child to die? So,
exactly. I personally don't think. I think she's gonna win both. We're talking about Agent Dunn and Agent Finley.
I know, but like, if we had to choose which one, I think she would probably do it for Amber, because this is a child.
I agree.
But at the same time, if she did it for her sister, I could understand that too, even though they don't have a great relationship. Like,
I don't think she's evil enough to be like, oh, we don't hang out, so you should die.
Exactly. Because you have taken care of her child all of these years, you still owe her. I mean, you do owe her life. So. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they save both of them, and if they don't, we're gonna be crying next episode.
Yes. Oh, please watch out for the mascara dropping, because I will cry if Amber. Oh my God. I will really cry if Amber's gone, because I'm fond of this girl. I love like her character. I love how she plays her character. It just makes me sad what she has to go through. But you're right. If she did have to choose, I would definitely agree with Amber. I think it makes sense, especially with the way that she's opening up her heart now and that kind of thing. Like, she's definitely bound to choose her. But I think Meg would also agree that she should choose Amber too. Meg wouldn't say choose me unless she's that terrible.
She wouldn't say choose her.
Yeah.
It would definitely be more of a sacrifice. But I honestly think if she had to choose and she said choose Meg, and I choose to save Amber, and they went and they tried to kill Meg, Meg would take care of herself. She would be fine.
Meg is so
like
annoying.
She would be underneath underground somewhere. Right. We would never know.
On the cell phone, probably talking to who knows. Like, she just I don't know. She wasn't in this episode, so I'm not as mad. But we would love to know what you guys think. Do you have any other predictions, girly?
No, I think that's the main one. We really want to know those comments. So
make sure you guys check us out. You can find me at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram on at One Take Stace. And where can they find you?
And you can find Courtney Tezeno at Teznos, Teznos.
Nice. We will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.